Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back over here in the kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of the greatest comfort food recipes. I'm going to show you how to make chicken and rice. And there are so many ways to make this. Everybody has their own version. I'm going to show you mine. Take a look at what I got. Alright, so I got the chicken here. I'm using chicken thighs. These are bone in, skin on. I'm going to show you how to trim those in a second. But you could also use skinless, boneless thighs. I got some vegetables here. I'll show you how I prep these. I got carrot, celery, onion, some garlic. I got some smoked cooked sausage. This is a low-fat turkey sausage, but you could use kielbasa. I have one jalapeno. I got a can of these diced tomatoes. That's a 14.5-ounce can. It's got some seasonings already in there. I got 3 cups of my homemade chicken stock. Go check out my video on my Costco rotisserie chicken. You can see how to make that. I got 2 cups. This is basmati rice. So this is a nice clean rice. I don't even need to rinse it. And it's a long grain rice, but you use what you have. I got a bunch of seasonings here. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but you could use any kind of seasonings you want. I got some saffron here, which is optional. And if you really want to make things simple, a couple options for seasonings. You could just use some taco or fajita seasoning. All right, you don't need all these spices. You could use, this is my homemade Cajun spice blend. You could go watch the video on how to make that. Or you could just use some adobo. All right, and then I'll grab some salt and some fresh pepper as needed. All right, so before I show you how to prep these veggies, I'm just gonna take my saffron and I'm gonna add it to my broth and just let this steep. And saffron is really, it's the most expensive spice in the world. It's very expensive, but a little goes a long way. And it just gives the dish a nice floral note, and it helps the rice turn a nice yellow color. It's used a lot in paella, which this is similar to paella. And if you can get it, it's really awesome. I suggest you try it. So I'm gonna do my veggies. I got some celery here, and these already come washed. You can get them already washed. And I'm just gonna take these and cut them in half. All right, and I'm just gonna dice them up like this. That's about probably a little bigger than a 1/4 inch or so. Just try and make them all the same. All right, and then for my carrots, I'm just using these baby carrots that right out of the bag. They're already washed. I just cut those up like this. And then my onion, I have a medium yellow onion. Go check out my video if you want to see how to properly dice an onion. And I got 4 or 5 garlic cloves. I just take a clove, I just cut the end off like that. Give it a little bit of a smash to get the paper out. And then I peel it. And I'm just going to throw these in whole. This way I get the nice garlic flavor, but if you don't want to eat it, you can just eat around it. All right, now I got my kielbasa or my turkey, smoked turkey sausage. So I'm just going to cut this piece in half like this, and then I'm going to cut each one in half long ways, and I'm just going to dice this up so it's about the same size as all my vegetables. And then last, I got my jalapeno. I already washed this, and these can be very spicy. So I don't want it too spicy for Jack. So what I do is, I don't want the seeds. So I'm just gonna trim off a few slices. You see inside, you can see all the seeds. Now that's where all the real spicy stuff is. So I'm just gonna cut off a few strips, just like this. And this is a nice big one, so it's actually pretty easy to do. Dice up my jalapeno. And then what you can do is, if you don't want to get big pieces of jalapeno, you could just come back and keep chopping it till it's nice and fine. All right, so I think that's enough jalapeno. I'll just put this with my other veggies. All right, so my hands are clean, and I put some gloves on as well to work with this chicken. So these are skin on, bone in chicken thighs, and you can see there's a lot of skin on here. So what you do is, it's very easy to take off. Just find the side, see where it's not stuck on. It'll usually be loose, like I can see right here. It's disconnected. You could just stick your fingers under there and you could just pull it off, all right? And then try not to make a mess and splatter it everywhere, but you can pull it off like that, all right? And then you can save, I mean, some people save these skins and they bake them. I'm not gonna use them today, but once you get the skin off, all you gotta do is trim a little bit of this excess fat, just like that. And I'll take some off of this side. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And most of this fat on the thighs will kind of melt away. You won't see it there. And that looks pretty good. All right, so I did a little bit of cleanup. Now it's time to season our chicken. And I'm just gonna season one side, and then I'll show you how we can get it evenly coated after. But I'm gonna do a nice pinch of kosher salt, just like this. Okay, some fresh cracked pepper. Gotta use fresh pepper, it makes all the difference in the world. Okay, I got some paprika, just some regular paprika. It's not spicy. Put that on top. I got some dried oregano. I think that's good. And I got some cumin. Cumin is I love the smell of cumin. Really gives it a great flavor. Okay, and then you could season this. I mean, you know what you like. You could do less or more. And again, you could just keep it simple, just salt and pepper, or you could use the pack seasoning. So I had some onion powder and then just a little bit of garlic powder. All right, so I just put on a clean glove. And now what I do to get these spices to evenly coat the chicken, I just got some extra virgin olive oil. I'm gonna put that on top just like this. And then I'm gonna start to work this chicken. And I'm just gonna rub the chicken together and do it at the same time with my hands and just keep moving it around till I get these evenly coated with all the spices. So I think this is pretty good, and you just keep flipping it over and rubbing them together. You rub it with your hands and you can see both sides are nicely coated with the spices. So these look good, and you can let this marinate. You can let it marinate overnight. You could just let it marinate for a couple hours, or you don't have to let it marinate at all. It's totally up to you. All right, so it's time to get cooking. Now I got a nice wide Dutch oven here. You could use a deep saute pan. This is over 6 quarts, but you want to give yourself plenty of room, plenty of surface area. So I got this heating up on medium high, and the first thing we got to do is just sear off the chicken. So I got some extra virgin olive oil, and I want a nice coating on the bottom of the pan. I'm just going to grab my chicken thighs and start to brown them. All right, so once these are nice and brown, at least 5-6 minutes, these look pretty good. You see that? Give them a flip, and then we'll brown the other side. Again, like another 5-6 minutes. All right, so this looks great. I'm gonna set these aside, and I'm gonna put them right back in the container they were marinating in. All right, so the first thing I wanna do, I wanna get my sausage in there, my kielbasa, and I wanna brown that up before I get my veggies going. All right, so I got a little color on my sausage, and I'm using my wooden spatula. I'm gonna show you how we can scrape up all these brown bits later. And now I'm just gonna come in with all my veggies just right in the pan. And I do want to season my vegetables, just a little bit of kosher salt, some fresh cracked pepper, and this is what's known as layering flavors. So you kind of season as you go, every step of the way, so you really develop flavor. I'm going to cook these veggies down. I just want them to get a little bit soft. All right, this is looking good. And then if your pan looks a little bit dry, you can just add a little bit more. I'm just going to add a touch more extra virgin olive oil, just like that. And then I usually like to add, this is totally optional, but I like to add a little dried thyme. This smells incredible. My veggies are softening. And now I'm gonna add the rice, okay? So again, that's 2 cups basmati. And I wanna cook this rice a little bit. I wanna toast it up for a couple of minutes. My rice is nice and toasty. And now I'm gonna add some wine. You could add water, but I wanna deglaze the bottom of this pan. So I'm gonna add about half a cup of white wine, and I'm gonna scrape the bottom. I wanna get all that flavor off of there. I don't know if you can see, that wine kind of helped me scrape all the brown stuff off the bottom. So all that flavor is going to be in my rice now. Now I'm going to add my tomatoes. Put the whole can right in there. And I'm going to also add this packet of Sazon, just for some extra flavor. All right, and the last thing I'm going to add, I got my stock here with my saffron in there. And normally when you're cooking rice in a pot, it's 2 to 1. But there's a lot of liquid in here and a lot of juice from the chicken, liquid from the tomatoes. So that's why I'm just using 3 cups, even though I got 2 cups of rice. All right, so while I wait for this to boil, I just want to give my liquid a taste for seasoning. And I can tell it needs a little pinch of salt and some pepper. Now remember, this stock doesn't have any salt in it because that's my homemade stock. So this is boiling nicely, and I've been stirring it and scraping the bottom to make sure that nothing sticks. So I think this is ready to go. Now I'm going to take my chicken, and I'm just going to nestle it right back in there, just like this. Okay, and don't forget to put all those juices right back in there as well. All right, I'm gonna put this on low and cover it. And then I'm gonna simmer this for 15 minutes and we'll come back and check on it. All right, so let's take a look. And now this has been cooking for about 15 minutes or so. And you know, one thing I forgot to say as a great option, I like to add some frozen peas. So first I'm gonna check my rice. I can see there's still a little liquid and this needs to cook a little more. So, you know, I'm just gonna dump my peas in there. It's about a cup, maybe a little more. And I'm just gonna turn this rice a little bit. I'll put it back on and let it cook for about another 10 minutes. All right, and this is what it looks like when it's done. I can see my rice is fully cooked and I'm gonna plate this up and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so here it is, and just look how good this looks on the plate. All those great vegetables, that sausage, which just adds a tons of flavor. And you can see the rice from the saffron's got that nice yellow color. This is a great looking dish. All right, so that's how you do it. That's how you make chicken and rice. And man, I'll tell you, what a great dish on a cold winter's day. You gotta try this, it's absolutely amazing. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you make this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.